Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
Medianoche.
Podcast.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
Okay. I might just extend this beat. Start busting some one of these days. You never know.
You made this?
Yeah, I made this.
Oh, this is hard as fuck, dude. I thought we were bumping to the instrumental the whole time, dude.
Nah, it's on me, bro.
Oh, this is hard.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what up, everybody?
We're in episode, what is this? Episode 7, I think. Welcome back to the Medianoche podcast. Medianoche, noche, as in no, che, Guevara shirts around me, please. I got here. My name is Art Morera, and the special guest that I have here today is, you might know him as Caveman Chris. You might not know him as
Caveman Bless as well.
Caveman Bless. I just know you as Bless. What's up, bro?
It's all good, man. I've been good, brother. How you been, dog?
I've been all right, bro.
Chilling, man.
Hey, listen, this is starting to become a thing, and I'm happy that you picked up on it. Because when I thought about making this podcast, I was like, it's a good way to get some free food once people catch on.
Yeah.
You came through with some medianoches, bro. Thank you, bro.
Nah, ain't no thing, brother. Yo, I had to, dog, because, I've been thinking about it for a while, dog. And it's like I told you, Ghost kind of you mentioned it during Ghost's podcast. It'd be cool if somebody brought some medianoches. And that's how I knew to do it, man. And it's funny because on my way over here, like I'm driving through, bro, and it's true. There's like no Cuban spot on US 1, dude. And you're like, and then like, you start thinking about the worst shit. You're like, yo, how the hell am I in Miami and there's no motherfucking Cuban sandwich spot anywhere on US 1? But I mean, luckily I found one on 79th, man, right by, I think it's like this place where people watch soccer. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's like that place got flooded during the FIFA. So it's like right next to it. It's called La Completa. It's just bomb as fuck, man.
I got to check it out. You told me about it. I tried to look it up on my phone. Maybe it's just not on Google Maps or something, but like I didn't find it. But when you can after this podcast, let me know where it's at, because yeah, bro, like you're in Little Haiti, so like you're going to have like some, some Creole spots, like the conch, like a fried conch, man, is super fire. But like at the same time, yo, this is Miami, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yo, before you and I got started on this podcast, bro, you were telling me how when you went to Atlanta, how, you're not really crazy about flying and you appreciate the road trips.
Yeah.
And then when you went to Atlanta, it was a little low-key show, but it felt so good to just perform out of state. And tell me some more.
Yeah, well, basically the experience was, man, is that, my cousin, Divine, he was the one that was telling me about it, weeks prior. He was like, yo, I'm doing a show in Atlanta with these cats. They were only charging us $125, and it was going to include a bus ride up there and hotel stay. But let me tell you, it really went down. So we show up to the spot, and it's all love, them guys helped us out. If it wasn't for those guys, I would have never been able to go to Atlanta and check it out for myself, But, we show up to the spot. It's like 5 a.m, man. I'm dead tired. I just worked the day before, bro. So I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking dead, man. And Divine, we're sitting there, we're waiting for the fucking bus to come. The bus comes, and it's one of like those, you ever seen those vans that have like 9 seats that people use nowadays? The modern ones, the white ones, they got like tents. They're made by Dodge and stuff.
Yeah, it's an extended cargo van.
Exactly, those right there. So they have those, but the guy who's throwing the show has a band with instruments. He only got one van, so he was like, yo, we're going to go in the van, and, there wasn't no space. Luckily, I just got my car not that long ago, and Divine was looking at me the whole time. He's like, yo, do you want to, go out there in your car? And I'm like, I'm really thinking about it, man. And I sat there, and I was like, yo, either I can say no and get my money back. Yeah, I'll have the same money in my pocket, but I won't have the experience, you know what I mean? And, on a whim, man, I just said, let's go. And we went, man, and I kid you not, man, it was one of the best experiences of my life, man. Like just getting to see the different counties of Florida, and driving by yourself, getting to figure things out. You know, Georgia was beautiful, dog. You know, big ass trees, fucking hills everywhere. You know what I mean? Great soul food spots, man. Very, very humble, you know, Southern hospitality. You know, like I fell in love with it, man. You know, and after that, it really opened my eyes to want to do more things like that. You know, I would love to do like shows in California, New York. You know what I mean? I want to travel these different places and not just do the shows, but get a feel for the places. You know what I mean? Like, this is our country, man. You know, and it has a lot of beauty to offer.
Traveling, I feel like in our youth, you know, if you have the opportunity to travel, you might not be making as much money as you would here, but like maybe that's a way for you to be more minimal. Like, yeah, you're not making as much money on the road, so live with less.
Exactly.
You know, that way that you can travel and expose your music more. That's the way to do it, man. Like,
exactly.
Traveling is awesome, man. And even though Atlanta is mostly known for like that cliche Atlanta sound, like that trap sound, there's a whole. I mean, mind you, Outkast came from Atlanta too. You know, like there's a demographic there of hip hop heads that appreciate the more type of stuff that you do.
Exactly. Isn't that kid, you know who JID is? Isn't he from Atlanta? Or?
I don't know where he's from, but he's talented. He's tight.
He's dope, man. The one on, he's on J. Cole's label, Young Cat, bro.
Yeah.
That kid is dope, man. He has like, I think it's him. And you ever heard of Earth Gang?
Nah.
Bro, you need to bump those cats. If you love Outkast, bro, they're like a new school Outkast mixed with Field Mob. You know, like, it's fucking amazing. It's great Southern. Because me, man, personally, like, I love hip-hop. You know, when I was growing up a lot, man, you know, my stepdad, he put me up on a lot of, like, Southern hip-hop. You feel me? Like, so more like, you know, the Ludacris, Scarface, you know what I mean? Outkast, you know, and I've always liked that slow sound, you know, but the way that they spit is fucking ridiculous, bro. They have crazy-ass punchlines, and it's dope, man. It's really dope hip-hop, bro. They're amazing.
What region of America do you it makes the hip hop that you gravitate more towards?
Region of hip hop that I gravitate towards more. That's a tough one, man, because there's so much good talent out there. It would be a mix of all three, man. Southern, West Coast, and East Coast. You know what I mean? I would say more West Coast because, you know, for a while I really liked. excuse me. I really liked you know, TDE. You know, Schoolboy Q. I just started bumping more of J-Rock shit. I heard his newer album, which was pretty dope. You know what I mean? So it would have to be a mix of all of them, dude. Because I can't. It's too hard to pick one, dude. Way too hard to pick one, dude.
Who would you say? I love these conversations. I don't really have them that often anymore. But like, who would you say are your top 5 MCs to you? They don't have to be the most famous. Just like your favorite top 5 MCs in any order
of all time or recent, or how are we breaking?
Let's just go with like. Of all time.
Of all time. Fuck.
It's tough, right? It's tough.
It is because it's so... Bro, you can't lie. Look, when you narrow it down to your 5... it's funny because you pick your 5 and then there's so much more that you're thinking about, too, because there's so many people that influence my style. I kid you not, man. But if I really had to pick top 5, most definitely Eminem. Eminem is one of them. He's up there. You know what I mean? I feel like he... You know, there's just no explanation behind it. You know, like, Eminem is just one of the dopest out there, man, you know? DMX as well. I feel like he doesn't really get a lot of credit. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of people always connected him to that dark music. But in reality, he was also a really good lyricist. You know, he had a lot of songs that are fucking deep. You know, Damien was fucking amazing. Like, songs like that. He was always an artist. You know, I guess he was just so rough that people took him as just a street cat, but he was actually an artist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cat was dope, man. Most Def, I think, as well, is definitely up there. Because same thing as X, you know, he's also an artist. He can do the hip-hop, fucking nasty with bars. But not also that, he also speaks about real-life situations. He can make fucking songs that you can groove to. He can sing. He can fucking act. You know what I mean? Ludacris, definitely, when I was growing up, is one of my top MCs.
You know how some people, they'll be like, okay, you just mentioned Ludacris, right? Which is, you're within your right to say that. But some people that'll disagree and they're passionate about it, they'll be like, how could you pick Ludacris over someone else from the same place that he's from? And it's like,
I know what you mean, like over Andre.
Like, how can you pick Ludacris over Andre?
Yeah,
or over T.I., over Lil Wayne, or someone else from the South? Like, what?
Well, the thing about Luda was, man, is, see, man, me, I've always liked skill, yes, but I've always been a person that likes when somebody can put the whole thing together. And Luda is that type of dude that can put the whole thing together. You know what I mean? He makes tracks that you can vibe to. And, you know, it's funny, man, because I've always felt when I was growing up, it was always about his first two albums. You know, like, oh, yeah, these are the first two albums. They're the best. But as I started getting older, I was like, yo, you know, don't get me wrong. The whole commercial thing, I wasn't really feeling it too much. You know, but I guess he's doing his thing commercially, mainstream-wise. He's making a lot of money off of the Fast movies, so I guess, you know, good for him. But, like, back in the days when he was on his lyrical shit, he was one of the dopest, man. You can't even lie, because, you know, you're coming out the South, you know, and not too many people were used to that whole Southern lyricism. And I like Luda because he seems like the type of dude that would actually, like, freestyle at the party and would always have that good vibe of the party going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to carry on the vibe, you know?
Yeah,
what
like,
I mean?
not only is he a dope MC, but he's an entertaining performer.
Yes,
So
exactly.
It's like you could spit the illest shit, but if you're gonna stand on stage and just not be exciting to watch, to experience you perform his music, it's gonna hinder you on that list, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, so he has, in my opinion, he's like a great artist altogether, you know what I
So
mean?
you mentioned Eminem, Mos Def, Luda. Who was the second one as well?
DMX.
And DMX. Who's the fifth one?
The fifth one, dude. The fifth one, you know, I've always had a conflicting fandom with this one artist because I don't really support the whole adultery shit, you know what I mean? But I really have to always give my respect. And he low key is probably my biggest motivation out of everybody is Tupac, bro. You know what I mean? Like Tupac, in my opinion, as a lyricist, was just amazing. You know, he can actually go ahead and pretty much say how he felt. You know what I mean? Grab certain topics and write about them so keenly. You know what I mean? Like just stay on focus on that one topic. And that's why he had so many songs, because he has so much shit to talk about and he knew how to like separate them. You know, he always knew how to make a love track. He knew how to make a track about temptation. He knew how to make a track about crying, make a track about beef. You know what I mean? Like he just was an all around great artist, man. Great writer. You know what I mean?
The thing that bugs me out about Pac, especially as time passes, is that you know, his first album came out, I want to say, hold on.
Wasn't it like the early 90s, right? Like 92?
It was like 92, something like that.
Yeah, what,
And
Tupacalypse Now or some shit?
Nah, strictly for my niggas.
Oh, yeah.
And then he died in 96, so we're talking about 4 years.
Yeah, I know. 4 years is not really a long time,
4
dog.
years flies by,
Yeah.
you know? And in those 4 years, he did everything he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how many songs... Like, he probably has more songs than there are days in those 4 years, you know?
Yeah, like, I know what you mean. Like,
And he went to prison for like 8 months.
Yeah.
And he was in the hospital a few times. So he wasn't always in the studio. He was touring.
Yeah.
So in the time that he spent in the studio, he made so many records that even to this day, there's probably some dope recordings that we don't even know. And yeah, people kind of like get tired pretty quick of the whole Enemy, Hennessy, reoccurring rhyme schemes. of
Exactly,
his.
yeah.
But like, who cares, dog? Like, if you low key, if you listen to everything, all his verses, there are always multis. There are always rhyme patterns. But that wasn't the focus point of his music. The focus point was just his statements.
exactly, yeah. Making an overall message, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And it's cool, like you said that, because it's true, you know, he does have the whole Hennessy, remember me, you know, like, it's true, though. That's the truth as it is. But like you say, man, like, I've always respected the fact that it just felt like he was just talking to you, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because he always had something that was always going to pick at you. And me, I've always been a hothead. So I would hear Pac, you know, Pac was a hothead in his youth, you know, and it's crazy how, you know, how he was so ahead of his time. Like you say, he was only 4 years, but look how many songs he has and how many songs we probably don't even fucking know about, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm almost 30 and I'm connecting with it now, you know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. That guy was very talented, man. Very, 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 very special human being, you know?
I think it's unfair to compare Pac to Big just because of their issue, you know? But
Yeah, exactly.
Big had 2 albums. Pac has 147 albums.
For real?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say, dude, I was
But
like...
it's like people compare the two, and yeah, like at that point, like I think Big made better albums, you know? Like Ready
Yeah.
to Die and Life After Death are like flawless body of work. Whereas
Yeah.
Tupac has like standout tracks on every album.
He does. There's
Like-
some tracks that you want to skip sometimes.
Like Tupac has a better greatest hits than Biggie does, but Biggie has better albums than Tupac does, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and Tupac is a better like songwriter, but Biggie is a better MC.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Because that's what it stands for right there, man.
If I had to really find someone that I can truly compare Pac to, I know this is going to be a controversial thing because everyone's so passionate about this, but like the only two people that I feel like one can compare Pac to is Lil Wayne and Eminem. You know?
That's great. You don't think Kendrick can compare it to him?
No, far from it.
You don't think so, man? Because I feel like Kendrick also. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Because remember you told me pick top 5, and it's like you picked them, but then you forget. Then you're like, fuck. But there's so many other ones. Kendrick is debatably, I don't know, to me, top 5. Because just like Tupac, he can talk about so many different things. I like how he can. Dog, I think it's scary how much he can talk in thought form. You know what I mean? Like in heart and thought form. Like he says, like the things that are on his heart and his mind realigned perfectly. You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of compare both of them together in a, in kind of a sense.
Kendrick is dope. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Kendrick by disagreeing.
Yeah.
It's just that when you think about pure like hours in the studio, hours in front of the mic, thinking of bars, laying them down, just studio. The only two that I can think about is Lil Wayne
And
and
Eminem.
Eminem. These guys are studio like they pay rent and to live at the studio. They might as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
And that work ethic reminds me of Tupac.
Then that's awesome. That's one thing that I always forget to mention as well. It is the work ethic, man. Like,
Yeah.
like that boy's work ethic. You seen those videos of him in the stew, man? Like Tupac, like it's crazy. Like he's like a completely different person, bro. Like,
A person that like gets me like motivated to keep to go back and just turn the mic back on like right after walking away from it is Lil Wayne. That's just my personal opinion. Like Lil Wayne, if you go on the internet, like for example the Carter documentary,
Yeah.
or like just if you look up Lil Wayne in the studio, the thing is this, like because Lil Wayne, I'm a fan of Wayne, right? Because he is more known for like his when he gets a little weird with it on the more known singles, like people forget that you're talking about a guy that has like no lie, like 25 mixtapes.
Yeah.
And like he's been rhyming since he was like 13, putting out records or whatever. And on some MC shit, the punchlines,
yeah, he has crazy.
the punchlines, the similes, metaphors, wordplay, like just performing in front of a crowd, no hype man, just him. Like, yo,
Yeah.
like Lil Wayne is just insane with it, you know?
He is, man, and it's crazy, man, because you know what they say, you never know what you have till it's gone. And since Lil Wayne's been out the spotlight, I listened to a station, you probably heard of it, 92.7. The Vibe.
Yeah.
They play a lot of the old school Lil Wayne, and it's funny because the tracks that I used to hate on when I was in high school, because I guess it was just new. It was more like that flashy South sound, but those were his singles. You feel me? Like, you know, during that time, 2005, it was all about that flashy South type of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man, because I go back and I hear those tracks that I used to hate on. You know, and I'm sitting at work, and I'm like, damn, bro, I can't believe I used to hate on this. This is fucking amazing. And I don't know if it's the fact that there's not that much great content. I shouldn't say great content coming out now because there is a lot. But I guess on the radio, they just play a lot of the same shit that once you hear it, you're like, damn. But yeah, bro, that kid's always been a lyricist, man. That's what people tend to forget is that Wayne can do singles, but as a lyricist, he's fucking nasty, bro. That motherfucker's nasty right there.
Yeah, like he has this 1-4 scheme that like he's like some like I'm lying in the ditch, like he lying from New Orleans. I'm a giant in this bitch. And he spells saint. Put the I before the N and the A in front of that, and that's what I am till the end. And it's like when you break it down, like you know how Genius has those. Genius.com has these videos where they highlight the rhyming words.
I know what you mean.
In different colors.
Yeah.
Like that whole verse would have. It'll just be an entire highlighted verse, you know?
Yeah.
Like people like MF Doom, which are a completely different side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like if you could do that to his verses too, and it's like an insane just cluster of these rhyme patterns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if one of your favorite rappers is Mos Def, you should look up that video on YouTube where Mos is just like geeking out of how much of a fan of MF Doom he is. He's in the studio.
Yeah.
Have you seen that by
No,
chance?
not the video, but I do know they have. I don't know if they've worked together before, but you know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's always been a connection there between them two.
What part of Miami you from?
I'm all right. Originally, I grew up around Hialeah. All right. First, I was born in, or you know where North Shore is at on
Yeah.
95th. I was
Yeah.
born there.
Okay.
Then I lived in Hialeah, and then I shouldn't say majority of my life, but for a good amount, you know, during the time I used to do the performances at Club Even, I was staying in Miami Gardens. So,
But like, if you had to tell somebody what part of Miami you're from, you would pick Hialeah.
I would probably pick Miami Gardens, man. You know, Hialeah was where I was raised as a kid, but time, you know, things I've been through, you know, things that taught me a lot of shit as I was growing up for a longer period of time was Miami Gardens. You know what I mean? Like,
So what's life like over there? If you can describe it to someone that's not familiar.
Miami Gardens, you know, it's a suburb outside of, you know, the city. You know, it's close. Picture this, you know, not that far from Miami Gardens, a couple blocks up is County Line. So you're almost right before you get into Broward. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't say it's slow paced. You know, it's just slower paced than like say Alapata or like, you know, the downtown area. Not so much, you know, flow of traffic. There is traffic, but it's not constant like over here. There is though, you know, has some hood parts, so there is some people that do their dirt, you know what I mean, and a lot of people that I should say do their dirt more than others, you know what I mean. But it's kind of like a combination. So it's like, you know, you got your working class, but then you also got, you know, the people that trap out there. You know, it's like a mix. It used to be very quiet though. You know, like the only thing they had out there was probably like a Walmart and then Carol Mart. You remember Carol Mart?
Yeah, of course.
But they tore it down. So Carol Mart is like no longer. So now it's like completely changing, like very, very dramatically. So they might, who knows how the hell it's gonna look like in the next couple of years, you know?
You know how like for a while people were like people were real like stuck up about like what name brand you wear. You know what I'm saying? Like you brought
Yeah.
up like Carol Mart. It reminds me of like flea markets. Like man, when I was a
Yeah.
kid, my grandmother and my mom, they would hit up the flea to come up on just some cool shirts or whatever.
Exactly.
I almost prefer shirts from there better, not because of the fake logo, just a shirt with no logo, because the likelihood of someone else having that shirt is like low. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If everyone has the same Nike shirt, same whatever brand name shirt, and I'm walking around with like a faded teal t-shirt, and like, yo, where'd you get that at? It's like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's my connect right there. That's the Carol Mart.
I used to pass out mixtapes in the flea market over here on 79th Street like years ago. You know
Which one? USA?
The one on I'm not sure which flea market it is. It's like a little plaza. It's a plaza right here on 79th Street on like 27th Avenue.
Yeah, that's close by USA Fleet. No, but it's not the USA Fleet. That's the plaza you're talking about. You're talking about with the McDonald's in the plaza?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but there's like a DD's discount and shit there and stuff.
There's a Foot Locker there now too.
Yeah.
Word, man. I mean, so look, I was on Instagram and I saw that you performed at this venue yesterday. Renee's, is that what it is?
Yeah, Renee's. It was actually on Friday night. My cousin Divine, he's the one that threw the event, because they have like, I think it's every month, they usually have like these, it's like a contest, you know, like the best performer, they win $100, you know, and I went out there, man, because I mean, I've been out of the mix for a long time, man, you know, and it's crazy, man. Like, it's funny as fuck when you've been out of the mix and you try to go back on, because, bro, the whole time I was there, I don't know if it's because I'm getting old, you know, and I work like at a physical job. I don't know what the fuck. But yo, I was fucking dead tired from work. You know, I still had a great time, but I was just so like nervous being out in public. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, fuck, you know. So it's nothing against anybody. It's just like, I guess since I've been out for so long now, for me to go around people and shit, I gotta kind of get the feel for it again. You know, and you know, it's funny because you know every time I tell somebody, yo, my bad for being like this. You know, I haven't been out. They're like, yo. Half of the time, people are in their own world. You know what I mean? They're not even fucking thinking about that.
Yeah,
but
like you almost feel silly even feeling like you had to have apologized.
exactly, dude. And it's funny, but you know, a lot of people they you know, I have a very great support group. You know, I have a lot of my friends that they clown me for it, but not in a way that will make me embarrassed to feel that way. You know what I mean? It's more in a way to be like, yo, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, we understand. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. So, you know, that night, bro, it was amazing, though, you know, because there was so much great talent in one building. So much great talent. I don't know. You remember Cool People, right?
Of course.
Cool People was out there. I don't know if you met ever Two Trey. You ever met him?
No.
That's another good artist, bro, from down here that's been on his shit.
But let me tell you, man, Cool People, like, yo, he's nice with it, man. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like,
bro.
He's one of those, like, he gets on the mic and, like, It's like you're guaranteed to hear like just some ill lines, and then he'll take the mic away and just start rapping to you in regular volume, you know, like
Yeah.
like not amplified by a microphone, and the crowd is just right there, you know.
Exactly.
He's dope, man.
Yeah, Cat's got talent, man. That night, it's funny how you said that. That night, you know, we had a little technical difficulty, and he did it without the mic. And it's funny because he was actually telling us before that, you know, we were just chatting it up and shit. And he was like, man, you know, as a performer, he would like to reach the point where he could just do shows without the mic, or just with the earpiece. 'Cause he said he wants to be able to, like, you know, move around and shit.
I don't know if that's ever. I mean, who knows? But I don't think that's ever going to become a thing in hip hop where people are going to have that earpiece mic. It's just something about seeing the MC with the mic in his hand. It's like
it's
this
a symbol. It's like the NBA sign, bro.
Exactly.
It's the staple.
You read my mind. I was gonna say, like, it's like the silhouette of that. It's like the sports symbols, you know.
Exactly.
But I mean, but word, man. I too have been out the loop of these little local venues. You know, well, for one thing, you know, being on probation, kind of like you're not supposed to be around bars, so
Yeah.
it kind of, you know, rules that out. But every now and then, I just kind of feel like strolling up and down Wynwood and just being more around the nightlife, because I'm on Instagram and I get a little, I don't want to say jealous, but more like, because I'm not jealous. I want everyone. I'm not that type of person where like, damn, why is he getting it and I'm not?
Exactly.
It's more like, damn, why am I not applying myself like
I know what
like
you
I
mean.
should be?
Exactly. But that's what it is, man. That's me to get back in the loop was because of that. It was to the point where I was like, damn, man. Like, I would tell my lady all the time. She's like, yo, why are you always mad? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at this person? I'm like, it's not that I'm mad at the people. I'm more mad at myself for not, like, doing what it is I need to be doing that I love. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's crazy, Art, man. Like, yo, when I was younger, man, like, I used to get fucked up a lot. And then out of nowhere, I went cold turkey. And to whoop my own ass, you know, figuratively speaking, was more like, you know, let me get a job, you know. I didn't want to be I shouldn't call them normal people, because these are everyday people that we know, bro. People that go to work, you know. And you know how it was, bro, growing up as an artist, you know, it's like, damn, I don't want to work. I don't want to be a regular person. At least that's how I would think sometimes. And then I started getting a job so I can hop out of that mind state. Like, yo, these are regular people. These are people, you know, that deserve respect, man. These are the people that are working hard, you know what I mean? And I got a job so I could teach myself about discipline. But after a while, you know, I did. But it was to a point where I was like, fuck, I'm getting so lost in trying to prove a point to myself that I'm really forgetting about the things I want to be doing, you feel me? Which is creating music, you know what I mean? So,
And sometimes it's the opposite. Like, so like some people, they focus so hard on creating music that they forget about just living their lives. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Yo, come through and kick it. I gotta work on this. I'm unavailable. Time
Yeah.
passes, you're never there, and then you wonder why people are just moved on from you.
Exactly.
You know?
But you gotta learn how to moderate. You know what I mean? You gotta, as much as you're doing work in music, you also wanna be able to live a life. You know what I mean? That's how you establish identity. You know what I mean? And it's cool because I would realize I would spend so much time in the studio trying to write that my personal life was actually going kind of bad, you know? And I took a big ass break from music because I was like, fuck, you know, like, I kind of need money, you know, and like I'm getting older, you know what I mean? I need to start fending for myself. And that's when I was like, fuck, you know, like I love music, but I had to put it to the side for a little bit, you know. And when I started working, it was hard in the beginning to work and do that shit at the same time. You feel me?
You know, like,
It was tough.
Like, it is tough because when you're younger, and you reach out to somebody, like, yo, can you like drop some gems on me so I can kind of know how to go about it myself? They won't. They'll be like, well, you just got to figure it out, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I almost see that as like an insecurity from them. Like, what, are you scared I'm going to take your spot or something? Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, how did you find out? By through trial and error? Why would you want everyone else? Since you know you have this knowledge,
Yeah.
like, don't be stingy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Don't hold back what you could probably help somebody with, man. Like, you know, it's funny, man, that now that, you know, a lot of the rap now is even more heavy into the drug scene more than ever. You know, a lot of these youngins, you know, when we met, man, I was doing a lot of drugs. I was on like ecstasy and acid and shit like that. And you know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, you know, they always tell you not to regret it. You know, don't regret anything you do because at that time of moment when I was young, I probably didn't really know what I was doing, but at the same time, I kind of knew what I was about to get into. It was like, all right, I know that this is a drug and this is not really what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm going to do it, you know? And I feel like, you know, now it's, you know, up to me in a sense to kind of like give my side of the story now. Like, yeah, you youngins are, you know, getting fucked up. You know, you don't want to fuck that up for yourself, though. You know what I mean? You might fucking be fucked up, you know, and what if you pop some Xanax and then you got like an interview going on, or you got a fucking business interview going on, you know,
or worse, you die.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you could die from it. Exactly.
You know?
So you could fuck up so much of yourself by doing that shit, you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, as the older generation, we have to kind of like drop those gems for them, you know what I mean? Sometimes they might not want to hear it, because when I was younger, I remember people that were on it too always telling me, and I was like, I don't want to hear it, until shit got real, you know? I was like, fuck, I can't do simple things anymore because I'm fucking up my motor skills and not noticing it, you know what I mean? Like, the most simplest shit, bro, like fucking trying to lift my leg up, you know what I mean, and like walk or some shit, like I would feel weird, you know what I mean, like trying to live a normal life.
Damn, that's wild.
Bro, it's true, dog. I would be at work talking to people regularly, like they'd be having a normal conversation and I'll like space the fuck out or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, it fucks with you in the long run, dog, you know what I mean? And I can't lie, I still go through that to this day, you know what I mean? I really do. So like, that's something I feel like God kind of wants me to do, man, or just life and destiny. Is not maybe a whole album, but just maybe acknowledge it, you know, every time that it's brought upon.
I mean, you seem pretty normal to me, man. I mean, even beyond that, like you, like, you know, you're on my good list, bro. You brought some Noches and shit. Like,
yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Nah, for sure, bro. But like, I do feel like it's a little bit. It's kind of sad seeing where the hip hop generation is right now, so infatuated with just being just drugged out.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
and I know that that's coming from, like, if you didn't have a void, you wouldn't feel the need to fill it.
Exactly.
So like, you see a lot of people that you know, life hits them hard in some way, and then that becomes their scapegoat. I mean, that becomes their reason to resort to drugs as like a scapegoat.
Exactly.
And all that becomes is a downward spiral. And then the people that you have that you're friends, I'm not saying that they're not your friends, but like, if the friends that you have are people that you just get drugged out with, like, would they still be your friends if you had no drugs there?
Exactly.
Or are they just people that are like enjoying this with you because you have it?
Exactly.
Back when I used to have back when I always had like a blunt on me or something, like, people would be super down to kick it with me. Yo, so Art, when's that tape coming out, dog? And it's like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man, you know?
Nah.
And like, I just picked up on it real quick, man. I mean, you know, I've been sober for like, I haven't smoked weed for like almost 2 years.
Oh shit!
You know, because I'm on papers right now.
Yeah. But it does open your mind, though. I've realized that, like, I voluntarily stopped smoking weed to get a job. I did it for 3 months, not 2 years. Like, you got patience, bro. Cause I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have patience. I just chose to not have patience. You know.
Yeah.
And on the real though, the times that I was sober, you know, like, I started noticing a lot of different things, you know, like, you really learn how to appreciate life for what it is, dog. Like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking weed.
No, not at all. But it did open my eyes, though, in a different sense. Because the thing is, I would always smoke weed all the time, you know, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I was always doing it and not applying myself in other areas, you know what I mean? And, like, it really just opened my eyes to a lot of other things, you know what I mean? Like, I guess get more familiar with myself, truly who I am as a person, you know, like, I guess when I'm sober, when you're sober and you have nothing on you, like, that's just how you were born, you know what I mean? That's how God intended it, I guess.
It's funny because, like, even when I'm in a car riding with somebody and a police officer pulls up behind our car, just driving, like, I still have that paranoia still lingers, you know? Yeah. And it probably doesn't help that, you know, some police officers be like stashing shit and saying that you had it on you, you know? But like, the fact that I have this history with, like, you know, with weed, I feel like that paranoia is never gonna go away, you know? Yeah. What you know about looking into your rear view, hoping you don't get taken away from those that are dear to you and freeze up when the boys in blue appear out the blue and drive past you. To me, that's a miracle. I thank Jesus Christ, Cause when I lived a life of crime, the first thing to go is peace of mind. You try to find it while you're cutting out your piece of pie. Eat a bite while you justify the reasons why I couldn't just get a job instead of having it robbing me of a life without these kind of problems. Still I'm out here like I'm on the grime, Salam. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you wrote that?
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I fuck with that.
You know, it's just like this. The first thing to go when you're involved in something that's like illegal is your peace of mind, bro. And then you consider how it's actually physically affecting you.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not saying that like I'm gonna be like a sober head forever. You know, I'm on papers and like whatever it is, what it is. But like, but at the same time, it's like whatever, bro. I'm not mad at the fact that I am experiencing sobriety at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta enjoy where you're at, man. Like to be mad when you're sober, you're gonna rob yourself of the experiences you can be going through, dog. Sober, you know what I mean? Like, cause I would be angry as fuck that I didn't have weed, but I was like, fuck, like I'm not enjoying the moment now. You know, I should be. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that really opened my mind to it. You know, is not being so dependent on it. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, bro. After I was done, after those 3 months, I started smoking. Fuck, I felt so relaxed, bro. And it's funny because the night I smoked, I only smoked a roach like this big. And I fucking knocked out, you know, because I felt all the stress on me just like melted, dog. But I can't lie, when I was sober, man, like it kind of prepped me for some tough shit, you know, like.
Man, you know, like the first time that I heard about you was you had dropped this track called Smoke.
Surrounded by Smoke.
Surrounded by Smoke, and you had the afro. You was riding in the big body whip, and like I remember being like, "Damn, this cat's nice." It's always a gratifying feeling to hear a new MC from your city that's actually dope. That you get the vibe that they're actually good people.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because there's a good amount of heads that I met over the years that like they're just assholes, bro. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, it like whatever. God bless them. The thing is that I try to chalk it up to maybe I just caught them on a bad day.
Yeah.
But like, how many bad days can you possibly have? Or are you just having a bad day when I come around? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, when I see someone like you or like Cool Breeze with cool people, you know what I'm saying? With Breeze and Noel, like these guys, like their music has like heart in it, but you talk to them and they're just like cool ass people, you know?
Yeah.
And like I think that's just so much more valuable, man. Like, you know who I feel like was a strong influence of like really instilling that in people, especially considering like what you do on your own time can probably like chip away at how good of a heart you have until you get into the hip hop room and you try to leave all that shit outside. Like, rest in peace, man. Like Joel, you know, from Catalyst.
Oh yeah, Joe's always good people's, man. That like, you know what it is to put on a free show, bro, for people, and not only that, a free show at a church school, and let people still freaking throw around profanity. You know what I mean? Like, he was a cool cat, bro. Like that cat never judged. You know what I mean? And I can't lie, man. Like one of the things I loved about Joel, man, he helped me out a lot, man. Nights that I probably didn't even realize I needed the help the most. You know what I mean? That was during the time I told you I was doing drugs, and then I stopped cold turkey because I was just trying to become a better person for myself. You feel me? I was like, yo, I'm tired of doing this. But you remember, like every show, he would drop his knowledge. You know, he would drop a little prayer, a little preach.
Yeah.
And whatever he was preaching about during that moment, it just went right through me, dog. Like I felt like he knew what I was going through. You know what I mean? And I feel like God put him in my life at the right times. You know what I mean? Times that I felt like, damn, maybe I'm being too critical of myself. You know, maybe I'm being too angry. Maybe I'm being too prideful. You know, and he opened my eyes to a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, it's like when you open the book right to the page you want to go. You don't got to flip one page over. You know?
Exactly.
It's like when I remember plenty times, like whatever topic he chose to touch on that night was exactly what we needed to hear.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
But I feel like ever since he passed away, man, like that Catalyst event just, man, it was this glooming, like, obviously they're still doing their thing, but it's not the same, bro. You know, not to say that it's less, it's not as dope, but like it just goes to show how important he was as a part of that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. He was amazing, bro. He was an amazing person, man. I can't lie, Cozy and Looney, man, they did their thing for a while too, man, because it's not an easy thing to do to become an event, you know, like, I guess, like, to set up the events and, you know, put a whole show together. But they did their thing for a while, man, you know. I give them props. They did reach out to me, man, you know, but, you know, during the time, you know, I was fucking trying to pick myself up, so I felt like that was just a big responsibility. But I can't lie, I gave them a lot of props for that, man, you know, for being able to try to continue that, you know what I mean? I would love to do another show there, man, you know, with all the, like, imagine, dog, we doing another show with all the people that were there for a while, you know, like Spaz, you know what I mean, Silent Hand, cool people. That should be live, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that I can't lie, that last show that they had for him when he passed away, Joel, they had it in the cafeteria. That shit was fucking amazing, bro. It was amazing. It's a great time. It did feel gloomy because I feel you, in life, man, when we lose somebody, it gets very gloomy, you know. And my mom would tell me this, man, you know, because I don't know if you know, man, but like in 2009, man, I lost my sister in an accident. You know, she was my younger sister. And, you know, this was like a week before my birthday, bro. Like, it was 2009, bro. Like, even if I hear a song about '09, I just feel weird, you know. It's just a crazy feel for it, you know. Like, it brings up a lot of dark shit. But, you know, you start to learn, bro, that these people that have passed on, they don't want to see you gloomy forever. You know what I mean? Like, they want to see you happy. You know, not saying that you have to greedily, you know, like, don't be so caught up in yourself and be happy, but more like, you know, be happy, man. Live life. You're alive. You know what I mean? Because we all go one day. You always got to be as positive as you can, and, you know what I mean, try your best to just enjoy what you have, bro. You know, like you say, bro, like the road trip shit, it was funny. I was always a rapper that was always like, yeah, man, the money, the money, the money. I still think about the money sometimes because it just, you know, that's unfortunately what we need to live in the society. But in reality, man, the Atlanta trip did teach me more, like, yo, it's more about it teaches you more about the music. Getting a job as well. Like, hey, if I really want the money, let me get a job that pays good, and maybe that'll take my focus off of the money from the music. You know what I mean? Like, now I can create music more with a different vibe, you know, more of all heart, not like, fuck, I need to make $1 million off of this. Like, yo, I already got a job. It's paying me a little bit, keeping me quiet for a bit. Let me make some music now, you know, out of love and shit.
Yeah, like people that make music out of being desperate, you can totally tell there's a whole different vibe than people that record music and, like, they're just in a much better space.
Exactly.
It's like a shroom trip, you know?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
But yeah, man. Well, I mean, so I wanted to ask you, man. I was waiting for the right moment to bring it up. But, like, you wearing a Stranger Things T-shirt.
Most definitely, bro.
Would you say that's one of your favorite shows?
Yeah, bro. Like, yo, you know what's crazy? I wasn't really into the whole shows thing, bro. Like, you know, when Game of Thrones dropped, Ghost always told me about it. And I guess, like me, man, I don't know if it's because of the type of person I am, but every time that something pops off, I always like to go against the norm. You know, but it's fucked up because I felt like I robbed myself from such a great experience, bro. I started watching Game of Thrones. That fucking show is crazy, bro. It's fucking amazing. But Stranger Things is really the show that got me into, like, you know, watching shows, more of the modern shows.
You feel like the 90s had, like, the illest sci-fi films, like E.T. or 80s and 90s?
80s, yeah. 80s was dope. 70s too, though, because 70s you had the first Alien, you know what I mean? And then...
Oof, you're right.
Yeah, I like the 80s, though, because the 80s... My favorite sci-fi film, bro, I believe it to this day, bro, is probably The Thing, bro. Yeah, bro, that movie's fucking ridiculous. The original one.
You know what's my favorite, like, sci-fi trilogy for hands down? Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future?
100%. Back to the Future is just that trilogy, like, to me, it's just, like, perfect.
You know what's crazy? I've never watched it. I've only seen... Yes, dog.
Hey, listen, I'm here with my eyes wide right now. Like,
yo,
for real?
I kid you not, bro. I've only seen bits and pieces, you know, so... I mean, I've seen it, but as a kid, you know, because my parents would watch it, so I would see it. But, like, I never really just one day, you know, sat down and been like, yeah, let me watch the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
this shit is making my brain hurt hearing this.
My
That's
bad,
wild.
dude. Also, you want to hear something crazy? I've never watched the original Star Wars movies either, bro. Like, but it's crazy because, look, you know, you want to hear...
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm just like,
cuz.
damn, fool, that's crazy.
Yo, look, you want to hear something crazy, dude? Is that...
I'll level with you before you continue. I didn't watch Star Wars until like maybe like 3 years ago.
You see what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. Do you feel like you've always had like a gravitation towards it? It's not you didn't knock it. It's just like me, I didn't never knocked it. I just never found the time to watch it.
Yeah, I just never made time to enjoy things.
Exactly. But like you say, it goes back to that because, I feel like as when you're younger, you're like, I got to make it. So all your focus is on music. When you see you don't make it in your youth, like, I shouldn't say all rappers, but there is a large amount of rappers, yes, they do make it in their youth. But everybody's meant to make it at the time they're meant to make it. Put it that way. When I see that I didn't make it at that time in my youth, I was like, fuck, I got a job. And that, made me start appreciating things like that.
And now you're playing catch up.
Exactly. That's what it is. But you know what? It's never too late. Never too late. And that's something I want to make time for, which is the original Star Wars movies. I saw The Last Jedi and I saw what's the Force Awakening. Those are the two that I just saw recently.
That's what I did with the show The Office. Like when I was with my ex, that was like one of the things as like a pastime. We would watch some episodes on Netflix. But then after like her and I broke up, like everything reminded me of her, and I hated everything because of it. The song Africa.
Oh no, dude! For you to hate Toto, dog, that's like
just like I was like, man, fuck everything. Man, when you go through a bad breakup, everything reminds you because you did everything together.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the things that we experienced was like The Office. We watched it, we enjoyed it. Yeah. So like whatever, man. I was like, you know what? Like I need to stop being so like enslaved to this like bad. This bad vibe that I want to put towards things that it's just a part of life. Things end,
Exactly.
So then I started watching The Office again. I binge watched it on Netflix and I finally got to the end. And the last episode of The Office, so many things reminded me of my ex. Like, so many things that I got sentimental watching it a few times,
Yeah.
But that show is incredible. I'm so happy I finally finished watching it.
That's another show I've never seen either, bro. But I heard, bro, it's so hilarious, bro.
I'm going to give you my Netflix password, bro. Like,
no, I have Netflix at the crib, dude.
Yeah. No, it's like, okay, yeah, but are you really using it?
I am, but look, all right. Let me, because the thing is, look, my girl is the one that got me into watching shit. So, because I feel like that's how it usually happens with dudes, like, especially dudes of music. Because I feel like that was like my main concern for like my first fucking like 20 years of my life was just music. And then I started watching shows and shit. So Stranger Things though was the show that definitely got me into that shit. I watched the whole thing in one night, dude. It's funny because I did it in a shift. I started watching it at 8:00 at night. I fell asleep at 5 in, woke up like around 10 and finished everything around 2 p.m.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so so true bingers, every time I tell people that, they're like, yeah, it's not bad. Cause I used to work as a tour guide, so I meet people out of the country. I'll be like, yeah, I watched it in one night. They're like, God damn, bro, that's commitment, bro.
Do you think that that's where like people are that's where things are going, where people are just experiencing things as a binge instead of coming out with like the first single, they'll just drop the whole album.
Yeah.
So that way that they can just experience everything together at one time, I think that's where things are going.
Well, it's to the point where now that I feel like we've acknowledged that as humans we don't have limits, man. Like there's no limit to where we can go. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like I feel like Kanye is a perfect example of that. Kanye released Life of Pablo, which in my opinion had some great tracks on it, but I mean as an overall album I wasn't really feeling it. His new shit, Yay, though, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? And it made me realize that maybe in this life, man, we're just doing things to pass the time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's things that we gravitate towards, and we do it, and then we're like, oh, it's cool, and then we go to the next thing. You know what I mean? So,
do you think maybe it could be a little narcissistic, like how every artist could be a little narcissistic when it comes to like putting it out? Like the phrase, "Take a picture, it lasts longer."
Yeah.
Like take a picture, it lasts longer. It's like release music, you'll last longer.
So you mean like you feel like if you release music constantly, it'll make you
like the entity that is you will exist longer, on just in this life,
It kind of, in a sense. Now I shouldn't say last forever, but it is something that we're trying to leave behind, I guess. something to show for, you know what I mean, in a sense, you know. As a musician, I felt like, you know, I was at that point where I was like, I have to release a project because everybody else is releasing a project and I don't want to feel left out. But in the end, you start to realize that, you know, you release projects on how you feel, man. You know what I mean? I feel like it's always been best to release something when you feel it, not, you know, trying to just be like, oh, I need to do this, because you might release an album and people might like it, but in your head, you're like, fuck, you know, that's not what I really wanted to do, you know what I mean? And
yeah, like, especially now with social media and how everyone has a camera phone, like, a lot of things that you do are documented, but those things weren't meant to be documented and uploaded to the internet. You know, you walking into a room and farting or something, like, haha, that's on the gram, that'll last forever,
bro.
And it's like, damn, fool, like, shit, when someone Googles me, I want things that I'm okay with being represented by, to be what they find. But everyone documents everything, puts it all out there, and it's like, some people aren't okay with that, you know.
I guess in the way the world is, you know, to each his own. Like, that's the beautiful thing about the world, is that there's so many different things, you know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking about that the other day, you know, like, I was looking at Currency. You know, I respect Currency as an artist. You know, I respect him more for his grind. That's one dude that will always, me watching him will always teach me not to quit, regardless of what it is, you know. And it was funny because he was throwing photos, you know, of his cars. And I'm like, you know, like, you know, there's a lot of older people on Instagram that I follow, you know, like people in my family too that are older. And I'm like, damn, these people are older, you know, and look at them trying to be like the young cats. But it's not them trying to be like a young cat. It's like, imagine living for so long and doing the normal things that you normally do, but now all they're just doing is just documenting the normal things that they've done for years, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. You know, because a lot of the young kids now, they find it more, it's like something that they're born into. More of the older cats, they're just like how they used to do with the camcorders or fucking those Polaroid cameras that you can throw out. It's just a continuation of that, you feel me? So that's how I look at it, you know, like...
but, like, there's no Polaroids of, like, what I'm saying is, like, there's no... Like, you pose for those pictures, or like your mom caught a good moment. They're good moments documented.
Yeah, they were more I know what you mean. Like, they were not so what's that word called? Saturated? Is that what it is? Oversaturated? Like, now everything's being documented so much that we forget to cherish just those small moments we used to take photos of.
Yeah, like, listen, man, like, if I'm flipping through a photo album and I see, like, you know, pictures of me playing with my cousins, or like with a family dog at the time, like, you don't want to turn the page and see you in like like you in a street fight or something. Like, why would you want that? Like, yeah, we all go through bad things, but like, but
you don't want to document everything.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Some things are meant to reflect on your own, you know what I mean? Like, it is true, bro. Like, it is true. Like, and it's sad to the point where now on social media, anything gets documented, man. You know, I had to hop off of Facebook. I'm pretty sure you probably did the same shit. You remember when motherfuckers on Facebook were posting some crazy shit? Like, fucking, not just street fights, but like deaths and fucking...
Yeah, I remember that.
All that crazy shit. I was like, damn, bro, that's going too far. And then you gotta ask yourself, like, damn, like, what's going too far? The fact that we're documented, but now people are actually sharing it. You know what I mean? Like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, fuck, dude. Like,
yeah, like, do you remember how there was a tape called Faces of Death?
Yes, bro. That's throwback, dude. How old are you, bro?
I'm 31.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm 29. That's like 90s era. That's like before the internet was big.
That tape was banned in states and different. It's like that tape. If once it became aware that tape existed, it would be banned in different states.
Exactly.
Now it's the opposite. Now
it's praised, dude. Like,
they won't ban it. They'll share it.
Exactly.
And it's like, yo, come on, man. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just it must be crazy being a 13-year-old right now. You know, with the dark web.
Oh yeah, bro. Trust me.
And
man.
faces of not faces of death, but dark web with Instagram sharing and just like I don't know, man. It's just a very funny time, you know. And I know I'm gonna sound like a hater for saying this. I really don't care. You could be super positive and someone will just find something they don't like about you and just say fuck this nigga, you know.
Yeah.
but like, I think that there's a little bit of a mental disease when I see like really pretty girls like singing into the camera with a Snapchat filter to make their face prettier, and they like lip sync onto a song just to kind of make themselves look more desirable. Yeah. Like, to me, like I understand that. Like I'm not trying to sound like an asshole when I say this, but like to me that is vanity, you know. And I just wish that people wouldn't feel like they need to do that to feel as good as they're trying to feel.
I know what you mean.
But then
bro.
someone's gonna like turn around and be like, "Yo, just let people enjoy things." And it's like, "Yeah, you're right," and it's true. I should just let people enjoy things, but I would be turning a blind eye to also noticing that as well.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because in a sense, it's like everything is the truth. In a sense, like I understand what you're saying, and I understand what the other party's saying.
Right.
That's always been my curse for the longest, dude. Like I've always been able to agree with one person, but also agree with the other because I can see both points. You know what I mean? Like both persons are entitled to their opinion like that. And what you're saying is true, and what the other person's saying is true because, you know, think about it. Like it is a form of entertainment, also for the kids. You know, 'cause I got a young sister. You know, she loves playing with the filters. You know what I mean, and fucking around. You know, but then it's true, like you say, there is older people. They got kids that they're supposed to be taking care of, or fucking no sé qué. You know what I mean, and they're on their fucking Instagram just worrying about likes as opposed to the family they do have, the love, the real love that you got next to you. You feel me? And it is fucked up, man. You know, it's crazy. You know, we've gone from chasing love out with people now to really trying to chase it out on the internet. You know, and you know it's crazy because the internet, bro. You know, it's kind of like a sense of false reality in a way. You know, because you know you get all these likes and shit. You know, and all this love. You know, but you don't ever want to just focus on that. It is beautiful though. Don't get me wrong. I love to get likes when I wake up, because you know you got to realize that the people on the other end of that phone that's liking your shit are real people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing, that they really are real people. It's not just a number. You know, but we got to learn how to embrace, I guess, all of it. You know, because it's what we're going through right now, dog. You know, like it's where we're at now.
Like, look, everything in moderation. You know, like Instagram likes. Social media popularity is cool, but don't forget to call your abuela.
Exactly,
you know?
dude. Exactly.
Don't forget to tell your mom that you love them, or like if you're in a fight with your sister, be like, all right, let's just work this out. I'm not trying to be in a fight with you no more.
Exactly. Sometimes it's always good to put that phone down, you know what I mean? Because I get caught up too, bro. Like, my biggest enemy, dog, is going to go take a shit with my phone. It doesn't put me too much in a bind no more. That's a good thing. I've noticed it. But it did, dog. That's like fucking, when you're on the toilet and you're on the phone, bro, you'll be there for a little minute to the point where your fucking leg falls asleep and you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? But
I don't know, like I mean, I totally agree with that. But there's this little guilty pleasure that I have playing Final Fantasy VII on my iPad while taking a shit. It's like, this is what I wanted as a kid.
Well, you see, that's actually way funner, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like I'm in calm right now, and I am calm in the bathroom.
Exactly.
This is awesome. You know, I remember I used to like position the TV and get the PlayStation as far as it could without getting disconnected, so I can kind of have the remote control and just be like, this. I remember, I think one day this is gonna be a thing, and lo and behold, this is where we are now, man.
Exactly.
But it's true, bro. It's addicting. Looking at a screen. Looking at a screen is like,
that shit catches us. We're like moths. But you know what? I would rather that than me be on the toilet for an hour worrying about likes or comments. You feel me? Like, I get hooked on social media because I realize it is an easy way to promote, easy way to platform, you know, like let me put out a song or, you know, do this. But, you know, it like you say, you play Final Fantasy. That's actually, I think my sense, that is something that you don't lose yourself in. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing Final Fantasy, you're how do you say, you're picking up your strengths, your likes. You feel me? Like, yo, I love Final Fantasy. I'm playing it while I'm taking a shit. That's nowhere near as bad as, damn, let me see if somebody liked my photo. While I'm taking a shit, you're worrying about the wrong things. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
I give you props, man, because I downloaded Vice City on my phone. I had to delete it because fucking I didn't have no more space. But, dog, those, bro, you talking about getting lost for hours, bro. Vice City on my phone, I was lost, bro. like
that's something that that it would make sense to, like, you could afford to do that when you're like when you're on a road trip to go perform somewhere. At that point, it makes sense. Like, you know what? Like, it's not my turn to drive. We got 6 hours before we get to Salt Lake City. Let me just play a little bit of. You know, I'll have like a beat playing on repeat on my iPhone. So in my headphones, I have a beat. So I'm riding to the beat while I'm just like also as a pastime enjoying my favorite video game. You know,
I feel you, bro. I'm a gamer too, man. I fucking recently though. The thing that sucks about being an adult now is that, especially, you know, my job, like it's more of a physical job. So when I get home, like, and then not the fact that I get home, but I get home so late and got to be at work so early. Like, dog, I just want to just enjoy that game one fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, because I was so used to it, you know what I mean? And it's funny as hell because when I was growing up, my mom was like, oh, you know, you want to buy this video game, then you got to get a job. And that shit stuck to my head so much that when I finally started working, I'm like, bro, I'm going to get all this shit I never had. I'm going to get fucking these games that I missed out on, this one. So I started buying them, but then it was like, fuck, I got to go to work. Fuck, they need me to stay extra. They need me to stay later. If I say no, I might risk the chance of getting fired because I called out last night. Like, you know, like all this crazy shit. And it's like, dude.
It's a tough thing to like let go of nostalgic things that remind you of when everything was okay, like when you were a kid.
Exactly.
It's tough to like just put that down and be like, all right, I gotta, like, life moves forward, not backwards.
Yeah, reality,
you
bro.
know?
That's what it is, though. But it is fun to enjoy them. Like recently, bro, I got because I bought the PS4 not that long ago, and I got Fallout. Have you ever played Fallout before?
Nah.
Bro, that's a game, bro, that will literally send you to the man cave, dude. Like, you'll disappear because there's so much that you can do in the game, so much motherfucking side missions. And then that's when I started realizing, like, damn, games now are not like how we were younger. You just pop them in. You know, you play, now you pop them in. You got to update it to your system. That takes like fucking, if you got fast internet, it takes 30 minutes. If you're like me, you got slow internet, it takes 3 days before you can play that fucking game.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, it also is like, and then when you do play the game, it's like, I'll be sitting there, I'm like, damn, I got to go to work in 30 minutes. Let me play a little bit of this game. 30 minutes would be like the fucking cutscene, or 30 minutes would be me walking from one place to the other. You know, like, it's not the same no more, dude. Like,
word, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's it becomes a guilty pleasure because, like, you want, okay, so first of all, you want to be able to provide for your family, and then you want to fulfill your dream, which in this case is music.
Exactly.
But then you also want to feel like you lived out your childhood after it happened.
Exactly.
And then you don't want to be broke.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh my God. Sometimes you wish that there was like two of you, you know?
Exactly.
And like the other you does all the stuff that sucks. It's like, like you exist now for things that you wouldn't want to do.
Just bring me back to money when I need it for rent.
You know, and most likely that person doing all those things will probably build a stronger character than, you know, like spirit, you know, because he takes pride in doing things that really matter. But then again, it's like, if you want to start picking and choosing on what really matters, it's like everything matters.
It really does, man. You
know?
gotta have the yin and the yang, man. Like, I realized for me going through those work days and being like, fuck, I'm stressed out, made me enjoy more of those video game days. You feel me? Like, damn, finally, you know, like, and it's cool because you actually indulge into shit. You know what I mean? Like, being an adult, you know, I finally realized you have to have that balance still going. You gotta sacrifice, you know, especially like, you know, like us, man. You know, we're trying to provide for ourselves. You know, we weren't born into the richest families, you know what I mean? So we're starting from the grid, you know, like from the bottom. So, you know, you learn how to enjoy those days, you know, any day, man, any day you get to yourself. Like, today's my day off, man. I don't know if I told you, but this last week, bro, I worked like 70 hours, bro. Like, I was working a lot, man. And then today, bro, just to like wake up and fucking late, you know what I mean, 10 o'clock, and do the most laziest shit, bro, it felt amazing, bro. That shit feels good.
Isn't
dude.
it an awesome feeling? First, it isn't, but then it becomes so good when you wake up and you forget that it's your day off. You think you're late for work, and you're like,
yeah,
and you
dude.
get up, you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you get dressed, and then you're like, wait a minute.
I ain't gotta go to work, dude.
Oh my God, yo, you throw that work shirt so far. You're like, fuck this. And like, you know, it's just the most liberating feeling, like, damn, bro, the day's off. But if you had every day off, you would start to hate it, you know?
Yes, bro, it's true, man. Like, yo, I got fired last year was the year that made me, bro. It really did, because last year, bro, I lost my job. I was working, you know, the ticket clinic.
Yeah.
I was working with them, bro, and that's when I started realizing I'm like, yo, me and call centers, we don't mix, bro. Like I can't, dog. Especially when you're dealing with like very, very bad customer service on the other line, and you're trying to be as humble as you can, but bro, it's tough, dude. So I lost my job, and then I just went through like this whole crazy ass, spiral, bro. Just like this whole crazy ass thing of finding all these different fucking jobs and doing all this shit. And most recently is when I finally found me a stable enough job to like pick up again. You know what I mean? Let me pay my rent. Let me do all this shit. But yo, that shit right there, fucking like it wakes you up, man. Shit like that fucking wakes you up, and it makes you, like I say, it makes you appreciate that type of shit right there.
Yo, like I used to work in a call center too. Like in 2009 or something. When did Michael Jackson die? It was 2010 or something.
Yeah, like
right?
2010 around. Yeah, it was kind of long ago, but not very, very long ago.
Like something like that. It's probably not 2010, but I don't want to misspeak. But anyway, I was living in Vero Beach. I was a bill collector for medical services. You get me?
Oh
like
my
for
God,
hospital
man.
bills.
Yeah.
And it was commission based.
Oh, they didn't pay hourly?
Nah.
What the fuck?
So
dude?
I remember I would call numbers, and the person that I was calling ended up being like a really old lady.
Yeah.
And you follow like a script. You follow like a protocol for legality,
I know what you mean.
You got to go through the mini Miranda and all these things.
Yeah.
And it destroyed me to hear this like elderly, hello. And it's like, yes, ma'am, blah, 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 blah. You owe this much money, and you have to pay it right now. And they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. And then I look over at I'll like pop my head up above my little cubicle, and like, you know who I felt like? Like Neo in the Matrix.
I know what you mean. Like you work, it's like you're working, bro. You don't even know what the fuck you're working for, man.
Like I hated it. I hate having to sell hours of my life away while making life difficult for other people to make my life easier.
Exactly. Dude.
And I didn't fully understand at that time like the bitter sweetness of what is capitalism, because I understand that like capitalism, like it doesn't seem like all that pretty at first, but you understand that there's a reason why that system works,
Yeah.
So then like, like I pop my head out and I see how everyone else, they are just so much better at being cold to like elderly people to try to get some hospital money bills paid, and then you make a little percentage off of it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, like, because I wouldn't want my grandparents getting this call,
Exactly, dude. Yeah.
So like, whatever, man. I was fired, and I was so happy when I was fired.
Yeah.
Because I told the manager, I was like, hey, listen, I'm not really liking this. Can you put me somewhere else? And she's like, okay, let me think about it. Not even 5 minutes later, she's like, so listen, we're gonna let you go. And I was like, all right. And I would ride my bike there and back. It felt so good to get out of work early.
Yeah.
And then get a burrito.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, it's nice outside. Shit,
Yeah.
I'm missing out on all this daytime. Whoa, look at that. There's a fucking thing over there. So
Yeah, you
bro,
can't
it's
always
crazy.
look at it as like, it's funny because a lot of people in the workforce, they will always make you, especially the people that are your boss, will always make you feel like losing that job will be your biggest mistake. But in reality, losing that job just might be your biggest blessing, bro. And you might not even know it. You know what I mean? Like me getting fired from the ticket clinic, going through all that shit made me realize a lot of shit. And even now, look, my job now, it's good, it pays good, but it did open my eyes again to being like, okay, now I know for sure I want to be a musician.
See,
what I mean? It's crazy, bro.
This is the thing. So it's like Young Blessing, right? To all the listeners out there, Young Blessing, like, to me, he's an MC first. You're an MC first,
It's still in my mind. They always say the thing that's on your mind the most you cannot forget about, bro.
Right.
You should try not to forget about it. You know?
So look, like with that being said, because we've been talking for more than an hour, right?
No way. What the fuck? Are you serious? How long has it been?
68 minutes right now.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
So
dude?
like, look, like everyone out there, like, check out Young Blessing's music. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard what's the last tape that you dropped?
I dropped Stranger Than Science Fiction. It's on Spotify right now.
Stranger Than Science Fiction. Is that what the Stranger Things is kind of a play off that?
Dude, Stranger Things made me take more pride in my music. You know, I used to have a very good friend of mine, very good homie. When we were growing up, you know, he would always be like, I love your beats, but they always have the sci-fi feel to them. Always. Why can't you just make me a different beat? So I would always be kind of discouraged in a sense. But that show, you know, I would hear a lot of production. I'm like, damn, that sounds like things I used to do. I miss that. And that's when I was like, yo, you know what? I love my homie, man, but this is what I love to do as well, dog. Like, fuck that, you know? And that's like, yeah. So I started, like, doing it more and more. And I don't know if you heard the album, but I literally did, like, I wouldn't say, like, an episode, but I did a skit, man. The whole album has a skit. You know, every other track, all those skits connect into one big episode, pretty much. You know what I mean?
That's tight. That's
Yeah,
tight.
it's pretty dope. I did the whole thing myself too, man. I did the sound effects. Fucking, I was outside, bro. This one I was living with my mom, so I would go outside and fucking I would like run on the concrete to make it sound like they were running, and fucking like rain sound effects, fucking the door opening, like, you know, little shit. You know, like I really got into it, man, and that show really opened my eyes to a lot of shit. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of in a relationship that wasn't working out, you know, and you know, I just wanted to see more for myself. You know, I was tired of leaving my music in the back burner and trying to make other people happy so much that I forgot about myself. You know what I mean? And that tape, bro, and the show itself, I thank God for the show, bro.
Word up, man.
Yeah.
Well, like, so this adds context to the project Stranger Than Science Fiction. It's on Spotify, Apple Music as well.
Apple Music. It's in the Google Play Store as well. You can find it on Bandcamp as well. If anybody wants to go on cavemanbless.bandcamp.com, you'll see it, Stranger Than Science Fiction, right there.
Okay, word. So, hey, I like that. Instead of Caveman Chris or Young Blessing, you have Caveman Bless. That's a nice little middle ground. All right.
It is.
So where can people find you on, like, social media?
Social media at Caveman Bless 420. That's my Instagram. If you want to find me on Facebook, Young Blessin, BLESSON. Those are pretty much the only two media platforms that I use, or the two social media platforms I use.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I got another half of this Medianoche sandwich here waiting for me, and some Cuban coffee because you're the fucking man. You came through with that.
Hell yeah, dog. We need some coffee.
Hell yeah. Well, I didn't want to drink it before we get started because then I'll be mad jittery on the mic. You know, I just wanted to wait. But all right, guys. So. Stranger Than Science Fiction is out. Transit City is also out. Morty's just here kicking it with me, giving me the puppy eyes because he too wants to take a shit. You know. But we out of here, guys. All right.
Yo, take it easy, world.
Peace.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
Medianoche.
Podcast.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.